Ross Duffer has spoken, and we now know the official runtimes for Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1. What's going on, guys? I'm Chris, and welcome back to another video. So today we're talking about the runtimes for the first 4 episodes of Stranger Things Season 5. They've been officially confirmed. No more rumors, no more fake reports. This is the real deal. So before I dive into this, hit that like button, comment down below your thoughts on the runtimes for Volume 1 of Season 5, as well as your predictions for how long the back half of the season will end up being. And of course, subscribe and hit that notification bell to help reach my goal of 150,000 subscribers here on the channel. It means quite a bit. And real quick, if you want extra content from more live streams to more videos, including a deep dive into every episode of Stranger Things leading up to Season 5 called Stranger Things Rewind, Patreon is the place to be. The community's growing over there. We're having lots of fun, lots of good stuff to come. You won't want to miss out on it, so join the Patreon community today. And if you like this Stranger Things merch and the other stuff that I wear in some of my videos, you can actually get yourself your own over at Firefly Shop. Use code FILMSTOCKED10. You can get yourself a discount. Get this Hawkins Police Department crew neck. You can get lots of other cool stuff over there. So be sure to pick up your Stranger Things merch from Firefly and use code FILMSTOCKED10. Without further ado, let's get down to business. So for the past few months, rumors have been swirling online about the runtimes of Stranger Things Season 5. There have been fake reports galore, with some saying the shortest episode in the season would be 90 minutes, with most episodes being near 2 to 3 hours long. And I'll be honest, it was really getting out of hand for a minute there with some of the absurd reported runtimes from these fake news accounts. And online in general, these fake rumors sparked this discourse about how long episodes of TV should be. People were getting real up in arms over the runtime next to a TV episode that wasn't even real because these were all just rumors. So Ross Duffer himself came out on his Instagram and posted the actual official runtimes of the first 4 episodes to put all of these rumors to rest. And whenever Ross Duffer posts on Instagram, it's gonna be a great day. This happened yesterday, but I was in the middle of editing a video. If you haven't watched that, I'll link it up above. So he posted this video revealing the runtimes. You can see he's on his own Netflix account where the episodes are labeled as works in progress since they aren't officially out to the public yet, but you can actually see the runtimes for every episode. So the first episode, Chapter 1, The Crawl, is going to be 1 hour and 8 minutes long. For comparison, this is the second longest season premiere for the entire show, and it's only behind the premiere of Season 4, Episode 1, The Hellfire Club, which clocked in at 1 hour and 18 minutes. So we're only talking about a 10-minute difference from the Season 4 premiere to the Season 5 premiere. Moving on to Chapter 2, The Vanishing of Blank. We still don't know who Blank is. Ross Duffer cut that off in the video, and I wonder if when we go to watch this episode on Netflix, if it will actually say who's vanishing or if it will have a blank space there, and we'll just have to wait and find out when we actually sit down to watch the episode and see the opening title. Regardless, this episode's actually going to be 54 minutes long, so I imagine this will end up going down as the shortest episode of the final season, but this should not be cause for concern at all, in my opinion.
There's nothing to worry about.
I know some folks have raised concern online because now not every episode of the final season is going to be over an hour long, but we're talking about a 6-minute difference to get it to the hour mark. Like, if this episode was an hour, would people be acting differently? Who's to say? You have to remember, Stranger Things was never a show that was consistently pumping out hour-plus long episodes until Season 4 came out. Prior to Season 4, only 2 episodes of this entire show were over an hour long, those being the Season 2 finale and the Season 3 finale, which were 1 hour and 2 minutes and 1 hour and 18 minutes respectively. Therefore, most of this show that we know and love has been filled with episodes that range from 48 minutes to 55 minutes, so this is really no big deal to me. It's par for the course if you compare it to all the other seasons of Stranger Things, because believe it or not, this show's been around prior to Season 4. Also, when looking at Season 5 big picture, there's significantly less setup that needs to be done plot-wise, so there's not a need to have overlong episodes. Like, view Season 4 as part 1 of 2 if we're talking in movie terms, right? It has a lot more of the setting up to do, while Season 5 is going to be more of the conclusion and payoff. Almost every time there's a part 1 and part 2 in movies, the part 1 is longer and part 2 is slightly shorter. Look ahead to later this year. Wicked for Good is the second part of Wicked, and it's going to be about 20 minutes shorter than the first movie. The same can be said for like Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows part 1 and part 2. Part 2 is shorter. In Stranger Things Season 5, there won't be as much legwork to do, right? We're not introducing a new villain. We're not introducing a new plot. We know how high the stakes are and we know what's at stake, so they can kind of hit the ground running. There's even a quote from the Duffer brothers saying this season opens at 100 miles per hour, and it certainly seems like that's going to be the case given these runtimes. Getting back on track here, episode 3, or the Turnbow Trap, is going to be 1 hour and 6 minutes. For reference, this is actually longer than season 4, episode 3 by 1 minute. And for the volume 1 finale, chapter 4, Sorcerer, we have the longest episode of the season thus far, as it will be 1 hour and 23 minutes. By the way, that's the length of some films that are theatrically released nowadays when the credits start to roll. And it also just so happens to be longer than season 4, episode 4, a little known episode called Dear Billy. You might have heard of it. Let that sink in. Dear Billy is only 1 hour and 19 minutes long, and it's deemed as one of the best episodes of Stranger Things. When you watch that episode of TV, it plays out like a movie. Factoring in the knowledge that the Duffer brothers are quoted as saying episode 4 Sorcerer is massive and as big as any finale they've ever done, in addition to it being the most logistically insane shoot of their lives, and I think we're in for a serious treat here with this 1 hour, 23 minute runtime. So those are all the runtimes for volume 1, aka the first 4 episodes of season 5 as of right now, so let's add them up. In total, volume 1, which is only one half of the season, mind you, is 4 hours and 30 minutes long, and if you compare this to the first 4 episodes of season 4, those end up being 5 hours long. So we're talking about a 30-minute difference between season 5 and season 4's first 4 episodes, which isn't that big of a deal, because like I said, season 4 had a lot more setting up to do. But also, let's get real for a second. I love season 4, but there are undeniably slower pockets of that season that move a little slow and have a lot of setting up to do. So you could say there's a little bit of excess fat that could have been trimmed. So if you think about it, season 5 through 4 episodes being 30 minutes shorter than the first 4 episodes of season 4 could be a blessing with less excess fat, and the pacing could be even better. Sounds like no time's gonna be wasted in the first 4 episodes of season 5, and we still get nearly 5 hours of content, and mind you, that's only half of the season. People acting like this is a doomsday scenario for some reason must have forgotten where this show came from, this show's roots.
This is crazy, this is crazy, this is crazy!
I want to reiterate, season 1 through season 3 only had 2 episodes that were over 1 hour long. Season 4 was the first season that had an episode over an hour and a half long, by the way. So it's gonna be just fine. And my final point here that I can't emphasize enough is these are the runtimes for only half of the season. We still don't know how long the back half of this season is gonna be, including the finale. For reference, season 4's finale, the biggest episode of the show to date, was 2 hours and 22 minutes. I would imagine the finale of the entire show will be just as long, if not 10 or 15 minutes longer or even shorter, but it's probably going to exceed the 2 hour mark. So even if episodes 5 through 7 of this season are all in the 1 hour to 1 hour 20 minute range, those are still really long episodes of the show, especially by comparison to other episodes of Stranger Things. And I gotta say, longer runtime does not equal better episode. In the world of movies, sometimes there are 2 hour 45 minute movies, 3 hour movies, 3 hour 15 minute movies that aren't great just because they're long as hell. Just because something has a longer runtime doesn't make it better. Sometimes those longer movies are dreadful to sit through if they're not engaging the audience and truly great. I'd much rather have a quality final season over a longer final season. Like I said earlier, season 4 was the beginning of the end, and season 5 is about bringing the show to a close. So there's no setup, there's no dilly-dallying around in the first 2 or 3 episodes. We know what we're getting into. They can go ahead and hit the ground running. They can get after it from the opening. You don't need to waste time. It's the final season, and to me, if every episode was 2+ hours, I think a lot of time might be wasted. And I know I'm getting repetitive here, but you gotta think this way. This is going to be, without a doubt, easily the second longest season of Stranger Things runtime-wise, so that alone should be enough to get people excited. Yes, we're not gonna have every episode being 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour 45 minutes, but that's never what Stranger Things was. Even season 4 only had a handful of episodes to exceed the 1 hour 30 minute mark. Those episodes being the Massacre at Hawkins Lab and the Piggyback. There were a couple that were like an hour 19, hour 27, but only 2 episodes in the show's existence have been over an hour and a half long. Plus, season 4 had 9 episodes, season 5 only has 8 episodes, and through 4 episodes, comparing runtimes, there's only a 30-minute difference. So I just gotta say, if you're angry or upset about these runtimes, you have to remember where this show came from. The majority of the episodes through seasons 1 through 3 were all 48 minutes, 50 minutes, 55 minutes, with only 2 episodes reaching the hour mark. I know it's the final season, and sometimes it's easy to associate a longer runtime with better, but that's just not the case. Some of the best episodes in all of Stranger Things are not an hour long. In fact, the majority of the episodes of Stranger Things are not an hour long.
Wait, what?
So to me, it's silly and a bit ridiculous to be angry over a runtime that's just written down on a computer or a piece of paper without having seen what the episode actually provides. I'm perfectly content with the runtimes as of right now. I won't know how I feel about the episodes until I watch them. They could feel, oh, rushed, we needed more, so we're just gonna have to wait and see how they play out. But I'm pretty confident in the Duffer brothers. I always have been. They haven't failed us yet. And like I continue to say, Stranger Things Season 4 might end up being an anomaly. It could just be this is the behemoth season, and all other seasons, the other 4 seasons, are normal in terms of the runtimes being 55 minutes to an hour and a half, with like the one outlier of the season 5 finale being maybe 2 hours. So we just gotta be patient and wait and see how the episodes themselves play out. We only know the first 4 episode runtimes. We have no idea how long episode 5, 6, 7, or 8 will be. I'm sure we'll get that information in the coming weeks. But what do you guys think? How do you feel? To me, there's no need to worry. I'm very content with what we've got, and I'm feeling pretty confident about this season delivering. But how do you feel? Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on these runtimes, as well as your predictions for the Volume 2 and finale runtime. And of course, hit that like button, subscribe into that notification bell. And if you want to get some Stranger Things merch from Firefly Shop, use code FILMSTOCK10, pick up some nice merch to prep for season 5. Final thing, Patreon's the place to be. The community's growing a lot over there. You don't want to miss out on some exclusive Stranger Things content, live streams, and more. So consider joining that community linked down below. But that's going to do it. Appreciate you guys so much for the support as of late. We're getting closer and closer and closer to season 5. I can't wait till it's here. Till next time, I'll see you on the other side of the Upside Down.